Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show how to implement the pages out of total pages feature. Now if you just want to use it, just grab the latest version of the migration after April 16th and it's already there ready for you. But if you want to know how to create it, how it was built, you can follow this video. Now this video is designed for advanced users, for people who are writing in .NET and want to understand more about design patterns and about thinking outside the box. So let's start with the problem description. So let's run an orphan project, and in it we have a report that prints 23 pages. And at the top of every page it says which page is it. But our user would like to see page out of how many pages, page out of 23 pages. Well, to do that we'll need to print the pages into some kind of list in memory, and later we need to write out the number of total pages. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to create some kind of unique string that we can trust, some kind of token. And we're going to tell the printing that whenever it finds the token, replace it with the actual number of pages once it knows the number of pages. So let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. We'll start by having a look at our controller. We have the print orders controller. It has an onload method where the PrinterWriter is defined, and it has a view where we can see the number of pages, which refers to expression number 2, which we should see again right over here on print orders, expression 2. Let's create a new expression. Pages out of total. And we're going to write the IO pages plus out of and some kind of unique token that we can trust that won't be in our code by mistake. I'm going to say page plus some kind of unique token. Great. Now let's go back to our designer and replace expression 2 to use the pages out of total. Now remember also to increase the format, otherwise you're going to be surprised. I'm going to put 20 over here and I'm going to make it larger so we're going to see it. Great. So let's see what we're doing. Now we have page 1, 2, 3. We didn't get the result we wanted, and that's because I forgot to build my project. So I'm going to right click orders, build, and then run our solution, and hopefully now we'll be able to see it. Perfect. 1 out of total pages. Great. Next thing you want to do is you want to create somewhere that we can agree on this token. Okay, we don't want all the reports to have the same token. We would like our printer, okay, to know the tokens that we want. So let's go to PrinterWriter. This is the code of PrinterWriter. It's in ENV. And let's go ahead and add this property here somewhere. Okay, so we said PrinterWriter, and I'm going to add this property over here. I'm going to say public string total pages placeholder token. I'm going to build the ENV. Perfect. I'm using Alt-B to build my current project. It's something that I find very useful, and this is how you can see the build every time. Okay, and we can actually minimize it a bit. Great. And in our print orders, we're going to say here that our total pages placeholder token is going to be the strings that we've put in our expression. Great. Now, obviously we haven't done anything yet, but we've made a decent start. Okay, so let's just recap what we've done. In ENV, we've added a token called total pages placeholder token. That's where we're going to store the special names that we want. And in our controller, we've set the token in the constructor for the IO, for the PrinterWriter. We told it that we want the total pages token to be this. And we created an expression with total pages. Great. So that's the starting of it, okay? Start total pages placeholder. Cool. Now let's go into the actual implementation of it. We're going to go to the class called PrinterWriter in ENV, and that's what we've added the total pages placeholder token. What we want to do is, whenever this value is set, we want to first of all print into memory, and then actually once we're done, print to the original printing. Okay? So for that, the method that controls the start of the printing is called create print job. Okay? And it's called when the printing actually starts, and it does quite a lot of things here, and it looks very intimidating. But eventually it returns something of the interface iPrint job. Let's go ahead and follow this interface and see if it gets us where we want to go. iPrint job, when we go to definition, F12, has several methods here, not too many. One of them is called create page, that receives the interface iPage content. Perfect. Let's go there. It calls print content that gets an iPage drawer. Cool. Let's go there. And iPage drawer actually has a method called drawString. And this is where we want to play with it. We want to make sure that it replaces the text with whatever we want. So we need to decorate everything here and bring it our own drawString that will do whatever we want it to do. Okay? Let's see how we can do that. So we want to return a different print job that wraps the original print job. Okay? So let's do that. Let's create a class, and let's call it class store pages iPrint job. Okay? It has an original print job as a member. Public, yeah, store should be spelled correctly. Okay, it receives an iPrint job original, and again, as you can see, my spelling is less than perfect. So we created this class, okay, and we want it to wrap the original print job and call the original print job. So to do that, we're going to implement this interface, and we're going to tell it implement it through original. When we say that, it actually generates all the methods that this interface needs and calls the original members that we've created. Great. So far we've done basically nothing. Okay, all that's left is to actually return it here. Okay, so I can say something like if not string is null or white space total pages token, pj equals new stored pages print job. Okay, and that means that whenever that is set, whenever the flag total pages placeholder is set, we're going to return our wrapper around it. Cool. Now there's a pitfall here because this method has two return values, once here and once here. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to refactor this into a internal create print job. So I'm going to do extract method. I'm going to call it my private create print job. Okay, and I'm going to work on its result. I'm going to say, well, if not string is null or white space total pages token, then return, then result equals new store pages that gets result. Perfect. So what have we done? We've refactored the create print job. Let's first of all see that it works. Okay, so our stored pages print job. Let's tell it please to create a new line to write to the log system diagnostic debugger write line debug write line printing or storing new page. Okay, let's run our code. Great. And let's have a look at our console, our output, and we can see that the new page have been stored. So let's recap on what exactly have we done here, because it's been quite a lot. So first thing we've done, we've refactored the create print job into my private create print job, got its result, and if our token was set, wrap its result with our new store pages iPrint job. And the store pages iPrint job is called is using the delegator pattern, which just means that it receives an iPrint job, okay, wraps it and calls the original print job whenever it is being called. It just wraps the calls. And that allows us to inject code here that, let's say, store the new page. Okay, so that gives us a lot of control over this. One more thing that I want to fix is that this is using new C# syntax that I don't want to use here. So I'm going to say get return, and this will make it support all their C# versions. Great. So created store pages iPrint job. Okay, cool. Next thing you want to do, we don't want to print the pages as we get them. We want to store them and print them when we're done. So let's do that. Let's create a list of iPage content. Okay, and whenever we are printing, we're going to add to that list. Okay, and only once it's the last page, we're going to say, okay, then for each page in pages, we're going to tell the original to create a page. And we're going to send it the page, and it's going to be the last page if page is equals to the pages or the pages length count -1. Okay, if it's the last page. Okay, let's build it, and then let's say here we are storing, and here we are printing a stored page. Okay, and let's give it also the pages count, so we'll see that we have that. Great, let's run our code. Okay, and in our output window, let's minimize this, we don't care about it. We can see that we are storing the pages, and when we're done, we've printed the pages, and we know that we have 23 pages. Perfect, this is what we wanted to know. And we know that before we are printing, which is also great. So we accumulated our pages in our nice little list, and now eventually we're printing them. So stored the pages. Okay, now let's just again recap on what we've done. So whenever a new page is being printed, instead of directly sending it to our original, we are storing it in our list. And when we reach the last page, and now that we know the total number of pages, we are printing all our pages. Cool. Next, we want to intervene with the actual printing. We want it to replace the token with the strings that we gave it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. How are we going to do that? We're going to first of all, instead of sending it the original print content, let's create our own print content. Okay, so let's call it class total page replacing iPage content. Okay, it will receive an iPage content as its original. Okay, and it will receive also iPage content as its original, and we're going to say public total page replace page content, receive iPage content original equals original. Perfect. And as before, we're going to implement the interface. So we're going to say here iPage content. Great, we have this one method over here, and instead of printing create page, instead of sending the original page, we're going to send our total page replacing page content. Okay, So again, so far we didn't make any difference. We just created our own decorator for the iPage content interface. Next, we wanted to get here, we wanted to send our decorator to the iPage drawer. Remember, iPage drawer has the draw, I think, has the draw string method that we want to intervene with. So let's go ahead and send, instead of the original drawer, our drawer. Okay, let's call it total page replacing iPage drawer, which will implement iPage drawer. Okay, and just like before, we're going to create a constructor. I know there's a shortcut for that, but I really enjoy the therapeutical part of it. And what do you want? Yeah, I want it. This is the constructor. Perfect. And let's implement it using original. Great. And instead of sending this, we're going to send our new total page replacing page content. iPage drawer. Yeah, I want it to send here. Perfect. So far we haven't done anything. We just created wrappers and sent them in. Okay. Let's just recap on our code. Let's do a quick diff because soon it's going to get interesting. So we can see here that instead of sending the original page, we've sent our class, which is called total page replacing page content, which in turn, instead of sending the original drawer, sent a total page replacing page drawer. And here we know now that we are intercepting any strings that gets printed, so we can do something cool here. We can, for example, say diagnostic debug write line printing text and see the actual text that gets printed. Let's run this. Okay, and if we go back to Visual Studio, to the output window, we can see all the text that was being printed. Cool. So we were able to achieve this, to intercept the point where we are actually printing text by creating these two decorators. This is called, of course, the decorator pattern. You are more than welcome to read about it. So created the page content and iPage drawer decorators. Perfect. Now, if we look again at our output window, we can actually see here the strings that we want to change, the total pages. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do some damage. So here, when we are drawing the string, we need to know the total pages and the strings that we need to replace. Okay, so that information exists in our store pages iPrint job. So let's go ahead and bring him over. Let's say that I want to have store pages print job. Let's call it parent. Okay, and immediately we can see that we need it also here to be able to forward it. Okay, to get it down to total pages replacing page drawer, we need total pages replacing page content to receive it as well. So let's do that also. And we're able to send it, and we'll send it here. Okay. Again, let's recap on what we've done. We'll have a look here. And we wanted to have the parent in the total pages replacing page drawer, so we added it to its constructor. And to get it there, we are creating it in the total pages replacing page content, so we needed it in its constructor. We sent it here, and we sent it originally from our store pages iPrint job. You see how using decorators allow us to intervene in between calls between other stuff. Okay, so let's write in our log, added the parent. Cool. Now that we've done all this, it's time to have fun. So we can say here, text.replace parent dot. Yes, we need a token at our parent, so let's go ahead and add our token there. Let's say here string token, okay, and we can see here that when it's being created, we'll send it the total pages placeholder token. Okay, we got it here because we are in the PrinterWriter. So in the PrinterWriter, we are creating the stored pages print job. We are sending it the total pages placeholder. And eventually in the drawString method, we're going to say text replace parent.token with parent.pages.count.toString. And let's build it and see that it works. Voila, we've got pages 1 out of 23, 2 out of 23, 3 out of 23. That's it. Let's recap on the last changes that we've made. So let's go here. So we can see that we sent the total pages placeholder token to the store pages iPrint job class, and we received it in the store pages iPrint job class, and eventually in the drawString we replaced the text wherever the token existed with the total number of pages. Let's just do a bit of cleanup, so we're going to make sure that we're not going to leave any debug right line over here. I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to take this one out. Great, no more. So here it is. Total pages placeholder. Removed some cleanup code. Let's commit this. Finished with cleanup. And let's just run it again to have fun. And we can see that it works in the print preview. Let's give it a few more tests just so we'd be sure that it works. So I'm going to try and print it to PDF and see that we get it to print properly to PDF. We're going to go to our print orders controller and I'm going to say here, instead of print preview true, let's say PDF true. I'm going to run it. Demo.pdf. Let's open it. Voila. PDF has a larger page size, so we actually needed less pages, which is great. So PDF worked as well. And last one I want to check is it printing also prints like that. So we're going to say no PDF and no print preview and run this. So my XPX printer will print demo.xps. Let's open it. And yeah, this is, I have a large screen, so you can see it on other screens, but you can see here 1 out of 23 and all the other pages. That's it. That's how you implement this feature. We've been using some very interesting techniques here. First of all, we've made some changes to ENV, and we've made them with fun. This change is actually limited to the PrinterWriter class, so if you just want to take it into your code, just diff this class and you can take it in to your code. But I thought you'd be interested to see how these kind of things get implemented and how the decorator design pattern gives us the control we needed here to implement this. I hope you enjoyed this and see you soon.